What's up? Good morning. Welcome to Wake Up Real Estate. It's Wednesday, which means it's What's Working Wednesday. I have two fun, exciting things to share on the front of building my pipeline and database. I teased it in the email this morning. One of them is how I've generated now, I don't know, it's close to 30 leads for free since yesterday morning. So I'm going to show you what that looks like. And then if you want to see me create one of the ads like I've been doing, I've created several of them now, 3 or 4. You're going to have to join us for the mastermind huddle at 11, which the good news is you can join for free. So we'll get to all of that and a couple other things as well that's working pretty cool right now. But Ryan, do you have a social post for the day?
I do.
Oh, look at that. Beautiful.
Where is it? It disappeared. Let me see. So, yeah, and then the mortgage webinar later. I don't know if I updated the link, Josh. Do you have the link?
Oh, you know what? Son of a gun. That's why we've gotten less registrants.
Yeah. I think you sent it to me over the weekend, and I never updated it. Sorry about that.
I don't know. I may have forgotten this week. So we'll have to get that. If you tried to register yesterday or even Monday, and it didn't go anywhere because the prior meeting ended, let us know. Or just
probably
updated.
Yeah, we'll get the link updated, and you can email.
The link is right in the email. If you got my morning email 20 minutes ago, 15 minutes ago, that link is correct. That link is definitely correct. We'll get the redirect link fixed here. If I can get Zoom to open, I'll get that to Ryan, and I'm sure he'll get that squared away in a jiffy.
So I have a social post and a little bit of a tech tip because I've been playing around with this Sonic AI tool. It's like a ChatGPT evolution thing.
Okay.
But I asked it for a one-liner joke about. First, I asked it for tell me a joke about buying a house in a high interest rate environment. It went on and on in the voice of a stand-up comedian. And then I asked it for a one-liner about buying an investment property. And it gave me this I thought was pretty good. So I went into Canva and turned it into this. Buying an investment property is like playing Monopoly, except instead of passing go and collecting 200, you're passing go and collecting a mortgage payment. Yay. Mortgage graphic. So, and then I just spun it. It had a pretty pessimistic view of real estate investing this morning, kidding aside. And then here's the kind of call to action. If you're looking for a cash flowing investment property in Pinellas County, where the rents exceed the mortgage payment and other expenses, hit me up. So I turned the kind of negative bot AI into a.
Right. You spun it on its head a little bit.
Spun it a little bit. So, we talked about AI last week a little. These things are a guide. You don't take them word for word, but there's always kind of a way to use them. I'm just really impressed by how good these things are.
It's kind of scary.
Huh?
Yeah.
It's scary.
It's a little scary on some levels.
Oh, it's very scary.
Yeah.
Have you heard the term singularity?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, it's scary. So anyway, but for now, let's have fun with it.
Yeah. While we're all still alive and not being taken over by AI.
Yeah. So feel free to snag this link and use it however you want, or head on over to ChatSonic and just mess around. What I like about ChatSonic, just to plug it a little more, is it does a bunch of different stuff. One of them is that you can actually create images inside of the stream. So give me a funny picture of a realtor. Now, when I asked it to turn I wanted to put this text over something, and I said, turn this graphic into a meme. It didn't really understand what I was talking about. But if I do, give me a funny picture of a realtor, hopefully it works. I'm going to look bad. But we talked a month or two ago about Midjourney and these other tools. This kind of has different modalities built into the one tool. Yeah, it's not that great. That doesn't work. Oh, well.
Yeah.
But
you're good at some things, work in progress on others.
Yeah. I love the gibberish. Okay, what do you got, Josh?
So, quick note on mortgage front. 13 basis points over yesterday at the same time for whatever that's worth. More exciting on the what's working front. Brian, you don't even know this. Jordan told me this morning. We sent out 13 applications yesterday from appointments and conversations we're having with some of our partners. Mike alone yesterday from just two of our partners, maybe three, scheduled 7, 8, 9 financing consults.
Do you want to talk a little bit about the switch we've made there? Have you talked about that on the episodes?
Not really.
Yeah.
So what we've pivoted to doing more often than not is actually going into our partners' CRM and data mining directly with them. So, for example, taking a script like I shared yesterday on Texting Tuesday and actually doing that work on behalf of the partner, but not just sending the initial conversation opening script, but actually having the conversations to the point where we are scheduling the appointment either with the realtor or with Dana or Jordan or someone else on our team to have an initial buyer consult to identify which special financing program might be the best option and determine next best steps. And that is working really, really well. To the tune
we're still doing the other stuff, but we're taking a little more of a granular approach. And I guess, Josh, we'll get around. We have a number of partners. We haven't gotten around to doing that with everybody yet, but we're kind of making the rounds. Is that kind of how it's looking?
Correct. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Cool. So that's been working great. We've been getting lots of appointments, and as I said, many applications out. Hard to say how many will come back positive, but we're moving in the right direction.
But mostly what you're doing is the stuff you talk about on Texting Tuesday and follow.
Exactly.
Is that right?
Not mostly. I mean, that's really what we're doing. We're sending those style scripts and then just having the conversations to where the logical next step is, when would you be available to have a quick chat with one of our creative financing specialists, or with one of our new construction home specialists, or with one of our waterfront property specialists, whatever the specialist is, just getting them to that point and then scheduling a tentative appointment, which we put on a calendar with an invite to the client or the potential client. And we do a group text handoff as well. So not only are we getting the appointments, the show rate on those appointments is really strong as well, because we've got multiple layers to making sure that the appointment sort of sticks.
So the key takeaway is you and Mike and our team can jump in and do that. But why aren't you guys doing it? Because
that would be my bone of contention since I started doing the Texting Tuesday shows March of 2020. The crap works.
You're just because you're jumping in, Josh, to accounts. You don't know any of the leads in there. You have no relationship at all. They just hitting send on the text and then boom, business out of thin air. So
just exactly.
That's what's working.
Yep. If you want to explore that, or we've kind of been working, but we haven't gotten to that point with you, and you'd like to see if you can push yourself to the top of the list, just go ahead and reach out to me. You can call, text, or email. I will tell you, Mike is on vacation, unfortunately.
Again, he takes
next week. What's that?
We really just on vacation.
Yeah, I know. But listen, the guy works hard when he's here. He is much deserved and well earned. Now, in his absence, I'm going to be doing some of that work as well. So it doesn't mean that nothing's going to happen while he's
and I could do some too, but I'm just going to send AI jokes.
Yeah, there you go. Just
to your database.
Yeah. Who knows what will
happen? If
you
want
there.
that,
anyway, so that's what's one thing that's working now. One other thing, I have two other things, but one other quick one is we've been talking about Google pay-per-click, and specifically a downsizing campaign that is working or had been working really well for one of our reload partners, Paul, in Maryland. Ryan got one of those live for me in Central PA for my team in Harrisburg. And it's been live for, 30 hours, 36 hours, something like that. And we got 2 leads already. And that is something, paperclips?
Yeah, the Google paperclip is working really good today. I had somebody say that to me again. Every year or two, somebody says that, and they ask me for Google paperclip. Sorry.
Oh my goodness. Anyway, the moral of the story is this: if that's something you're interested in, Ryan is building out and very close to having the infrastructure set where we can do that for you for a fee, right? Well, but you don't have to worry about any of the nitty gritty of how to do any of that. We'll generate the leads. We'll get them synced up and linked up with your CRM, with our best practices for smart campaign follow-up, et cetera. And you can focus on what you do best, which is having those conversations, and then serving the folks that are ready, willing, and able. For example, Paul, the aforementioned Paul, he now has generated 70 or so leads with this offer in his market. They've been about $7 a lead. And he has had, well, it's his dad, actually. He and his dad are sort of business partners there. Has had several conversations. The last one, literally the last lead that had come in at the time of our conversation yesterday, has a home to sell and one to buy. So, you can't ask for much more than that.
So part of what we're doing, I took Paul's campaign, which we shared a month or two ago when I first built it, wanted to make sure that it would work universally. So we spun it up for Josh 2 days ago. Josh, you got 2 leads. The number held $7, which I found interesting.
Yeah.
And it's an early sample. But the coolest thing is they both gave you a phone number.
Exactly. Yep.
And so along the lines of what's working now, whether you end up using this downsizing funnel or not, the phone optional with a we'll text you our something every Saturday is working great for Paul, and it's working great for Josh so far.
And here's the best news of all to me. Like, they are choosing to do that.
Yeah.
Okay. We're not like squeezing it out of them. And number 2, these are folks that it's intent based.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, they're going and searching for, they may not be directly searching for downsizer friendly homes, but we're presenting folks with an offer that matches the fact that they at least have search or buying intent on some level.
Right. They're actually searching the short tail, the main keywords in Harrisburg in your example. Right. So they're searching Harrisburg real estate, Harrisburg condos, homes for sale. And then the ad creative is diverting them. So they're not going to click it. If they're not interested in single story homes that are downsizer friendly, which is basically something like what the ad reads, they're not going to click it. So by the time the click is actually more qualified, we should say. It's more efficient. By the time they get to the page, they're already down the path. The scent trail is there. And I think your first 2, one of them said they might be moving from another area, right? Yes. And the other one, I looked, and the other one just said they're just curious about the list. Yep. So, but it's $7 for a Google lead. I'll take that over a $2 Facebook lead all day.
Absolutely. Two follow-ups to that. Number 1, that we have other niches that are also working, right? We're starting with the downsizer. If that's an audience that you want or are interested in, that's where we're starting. There is data to back that concept as well, right? We're not just shooting at whatever, right? At blind targets here. There are reasons why we know that boomers, 50% of listings, approximately 40% of buyers in 2022 came from boomers. And so building that audience makes a ton of sense. But there are other niches that we will be building out with this. Now, a follow-up is, do you have a YouTube video ad strategy? Not at this point. Not something that's proven that we would say, do this and it yields this. Can we get views on YouTube? Yeah, that's a piece of cake. Can we get those views to be leads like what Ryan was just showing, where they're saying what their interest is, their name, email, and phone number? That's the tricky part. We're going to focus on this for now, and that might be something that we explore.
Well, the problem with YouTube is, Josh, you could easily do that, or I could, just because we're not afraid to get on camera and talk to people on camera. That's what you need for YouTube. I can't make that video for you very efficiently and get a good cost per lead. The best use of YouTube, though, would be to take these leads, add them to a retargeting list in YouTube, which is getting more tricky, but retarget, or just email them YouTube videos.
Yep.
Oh, that you're doing.
Brian, same link as always. How do I book an appointment for real estate agents? I have it on the screen every day. I have it in every email, josh15.com. Josh15.com. Ryan, I'll pay.
I mean, Andrew's one that we would see. Andrew makes a lot of video. So sure, Andrew. I mean, we can give me a week, or maybe remind me, text me, and we'll try it. And you don't have to pay me for Andrew. We'll just do a 1-to-1 pass through on your budget just to test it out and then we'll sell what we learn.
All right. So the last thing I had is I have been able to generate I don't know the exact number, but I'll pull it up as we.
What kind of car are we buying these days? I'm shopping too.
Well, so I need it's showing me cars because we're trying to figure out what we've been dragging my feet on what our third car is going to be now that.
Well, you have so many kids. I have a Ford E350 for you.
Oh yeah,
I'm trying to sell. Fits
okay.
12, so you can have a few more. Yep.
All right, let me know. Let's chat after.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. So I have been banned on Marketplace, or had been banned on Marketplace since sometime in 2020. I broke their terms of service. Prior to that, I had sold. In fact, when I reactivated my license and started actively producing, either the first 3 or maybe even, I don't know, at least the first 3 transactions that actually closed came from Marketplace. Okay. After requesting to be reinstated many, many times over the last several years, they finally reinstated me.
They did?
And so what I did is, I'll be honest. I mean, they banned me for good reason. I was definitely breaking their terms of service. I was being my normal, Brian would call me, my normal Billy Mays marketing.
Yeah, you're
self.
spamming.
But now that I've reactivated, I am taking I would say a playbook or plan from Chris and Levi Jones at Gorilla Realty. I forget what their marketing company is, Pipeline Pro Tools or something. Anyway,
Gorilla.
They had been sharing. Yeah, they had been sharing how they're using Marketplace to generate leads. And so I started to play around with this strategy yesterday morning. I don't know why this won't load up here. This is not what it should look like. And I've generated, when I last checked earlier this morning, I had generated 24 leads. Several more have come in since, so it's cruising in on 30. And all I'm doing is posting an actual listing with permission, including a little blurb, which is either all of or part of the MLS remarks, and then a link to a single property website. And that's literally it. I'm posting them on Marketplace. I do share them each time I create one. You can share them in up to 3 groups. So I share them into groups. I don't know why won't this load up here? So I can show you guys an example of what one of these looks like. Hopefully they haven't banned me again already. But absolutely free. And some people are messaging me through Facebook Messenger, and I just follow up with them as well. But I'm using, for the single property website, I'm using listings to leads. You can get a free trial at growwithjosh.com/L, the number 2L. growwithjosh.com/L for listings, the number 2 for 2, and L for leads, L2L. And I'm pulling in the listing with permission, and then I'm using that as, is this loaded up yet? I do not know why it won't load up for me here. Maybe if
you can include a URL with the listing.
View the listing. So it doesn't. I don't believe it hyperlinks it. So the old Craigslist trick, and I didn't even do it with this one, but with the other 3, I put in parentheses after copy and paste into browser. I don't know why it's saying no photos. There are definitely photos here for this one. Or at least there should be. I had uploaded them. Now I am getting trolled because I put the price of $1. And there's a number of things that I'm going to test with this. I'm going to test price. I'm going to test not including a link and having folks reply and then sending them the link through Messenger and having my boys monitor and do that. There are a number of things I'm going to play with here, but I'm really encouraged.
They don't. Putting $1 is not against the terms of service. They're okay with that.
I mean, it does, like when you put that in there, you'll get a little
negative
notification
feedback.
like, hey, I forget what it says, but they do. I don't think they love it, But I know many people using this strategy doing this without issue.
Okay.
I'm going to do some with the price, and see what happens. I mean,
now, so going back to the Craigslist, what if you just posted the listing and just in the text you said, "Hey, if you want a full list of all of our hot buys or our deals, go to 727deals.com." So
yeah,
they're just you just post the real price of the house, you know what I mean? Just very vanilla. And I guess my other question would be, can you use the emoticons in that or no? The Joy Pixels?
In the description here?
Yeah. Because you could use like a
Yeah,
little finger pointer and have your URL highlighted.
Yeah, I should definitely do that.
I would.
So
the
here
reason I'm saying the reason I'm saying it like this is because you want to stay on with the terms. Going back to the Craigslist days, so you don't want to risk anything or any negative feedback for the algorithm.
Yep.
But you kind of slip in the CTA and you're getting free traffic for your vanity domain. Or a text, Josh, a text response.
So yeah, I need to do that. I had when they first reactivated my account, or maybe before they even reactivated, I think I had Mike trying some different things through Marketplace. But that absolutely, right? Like having multiple, just like we know in a postcard, right? Having multiple ways for a person to take the next step is going to, generally speaking, increase the response rate. And when people are texting, you've got their cell phone. So this will evolve, but I've been really encouraged by the early results. So 2 things. We're running up on the top of the hour. So our mastermind huddle is about to start. And on that huddle, I am going to create one of these ads like I just showed you here from scratch. So I'm gonna grab the listing. I'm gonna create the single property website with listings to leads, and then I'll create the actual ad. And one last thing I'll say, because some of you are probably wondering, like, where are you getting the listings? So number one, with eXp Realty in Pennsylvania, we have open listing policy, meaning any eXp listings, other eXp agents can market. Okay, number one. Number two, I have now gotten express consent from 2 local builders. And I haven't even asked any others. I'm going to ask more. So I now have essentially, maybe not unlimited inventory, but a big pool of inventory that also is a little bit easier to get under contract than resale, right? So it's killing 2 birds with 1 stone, let's say. So I'm really excited about that, and I do view it as long as I stay on the up and up with them, that it can be another great consistent source of deals in the pipeline. So I'm going to do that deep dive on that. wakeup.realestate/mm. wakeup.realestate/mm. I'm going to pop over to there. That's our Zoom room. We do kick those off with some wins. Our little mindset share for the day, but then I'm going to do a deep dive on that and do the step by step on how we're doing that, and fill in some of the other gaps there. I just wanted to show that what's working now.
One more quick plug. If you can make it to tomorrow's show, the Thanks.io Just Listed Just Sold tool is pretty much ready. It's ready enough that I can show the demo. So for our Tech Tip Thursday, we'll be doing that tomorrow at 10:30. And don't forget the mortgage webinar.
Right on.
At 2 o'clock.
And the mortgage webinar at 2 Eastern today. Thank you all. Good stuff. And hopefully see a bunch of you in 30 seconds.
See you guys.